Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Yashodanandana Raja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Raja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Shishivara Kunja Vihari ki jai.
Jai.
Kartik Brata ki jai. You have one, you have 821.
821
Om Agyana Timirandasya.
Om Magyana Timirandasya
Okay, yeah. That sounds good. This is Bhagavad Gita, which is respected. In English, we speak English. So we're speaking English media.
Everybody?
Or Spanish. Alguien habla solamente castellano. Por acá. Okay. No? No.
English.
English. English, okay. Spanish. Spanish.
English is better for me.
Yeah. Okay. We can do both.
Yes, yes, of course.
Okay, we do
We are
both.
multilingual.
Okay, all right. English, अंग्रेज भाषा. Okay, सिर्फ अंग्रेज भाषा. मैं हिंदी सीख रहा हूँ. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita is very universally respected. Every year in English, maybe like 21 translations in print. Yeah. And of course India, Shankaracharya has commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Daneshwara, Dayananda Saraswati, Aurobindo, Yogananda. So everybody respects Bhagavad Gita. And of course, different people trying to use it their own way, different things too. But this is a very nice verse. This is 821. Any software engineers here? No, one software engineer. So this is a binary number, right? 821, right? Yeah, you can remember. Remember easily the number. Okay. Yeah, please repeat. Avyakto.
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 Kshara.
Kshara.
Iti.
Iti.
Uktas.
Uktas.
Avyakto iti uktas.
Avyakto kshara iti yuktas.
Avyakto iti uktas.
Avyakto kshara iti yuktas.
Tam
Tam
ahu
ahu
paramam gatim.
paramam gatim.
Tamahu paramam gatim.
Tamahu paramam gatim.
Tamahu paramam gatim.
Tamahu paramam gatim.
Yam prapya.
Yam prapya.
Yam prapya.
Yam prapya.
Nanivartante.
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 Yam prapya nanivartante.
Yam prapya nanivartante.
Tad dhamma.
Tad dhamma.
Tad dhamma.
Tad dhamma.
Paramam mama.
Paramam mama.
Paramam mama.
Paramam mama.
Avyakto kshara iti uktas.
Avyakto kshara iti yuktas.
Where's it go? Tamahu paramam gatim.
Tamahu paramam gatim.
Yam prapta.
Yam prapya.
Nanivartante.
Nanivartante.
Tadama.
Tadama.
Paramam mama.
Paramam mama.
That which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns. That is my supreme abode. So Krishna is talking about different things. Yeah. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita, it's so popular because it deals with a very fundamental problem. Like we all have a problem with breathing. How many people here like to breathe? Ever like to breathe? Yeah, okay, yeah. Eating, okay. So the same thing, they're very fundamental emotional, problems, things like that. So Bhagavad Gita is civil war, the most difficult situation like that. Yeah. And what is the most popular, most famous book in the English language? Most famous literary work in the English language?
Bible?
Huh?
It's a Bible.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. To be or not. Yeah. Hamlet, no? Yeah, but what it's the same thing. Yeah. Hamlet and Arjuna, they both have to kill their family members. Hamlet has to chastise his own mother for her deportment. So many things, And both Hamlet and Arjuna, they don't want to do it. They don't want to. It's their destiny, but they're trying to avoid it. Hamlet says, "Time is out of joint, O cursed spite, that I was ever born to set it right." Try and translate that. Yeah. This is Shakespeare potent. But he doesn't want it. Arjuna also. Arjuna in the beginning is thinking, oh, revenge. Now I can reclaim Draupadi's honor. I can reclaim my brother's honor. So, but in the end, Hamlet tries to avoid it, can't avoid it. This is his destiny. So his conclusion is that all of us have a destiny. All of us have different, like, for example, I don't know if it's still true or not, but before my destiny was to have short pants. Anybody have anything like this? Something physically always works out a certain way, you just always show. One time they were on sale, so I bought some pants from a big department store in San Francisco. And they're the kind where the cuffs aren't cut. You go and the tailor measures you and you come back 2 days later to cut. So I went back and they were too short. Professional tailor. And he was measuring and he was trying to pull them down like that. It wouldn't work, And I told him, I said, this always happens to me. Always end up with short pants. And he kind of nodded and he said, yeah. He said, being a tailor, you really see how people have a certain kind of destiny. Some people, it doesn't matter what you do, they look good. It doesn't matter what you cut, they'll always come out looking good. Other people, you can try your very best to do this. Some people are photogenic, right? Your picture always comes out great. I'm the exact opposite. Every single passport picture I have looks like a criminal or something. It's like, look at me. It's terrible. One devotee, one of Prabhupada's disciples, she was in Europe, and she was one of the most famous fashion models in all of Europe. But when you saw her personally, physically, she wasn't ugly, but she was, okay, it was like that ordinary looking person. But we put her on camera, just like she became something from another world. So Hamlet is saying, he said, it may be roughly cut. It's not like, here's your destiny, fellow. Okay, you got some flexibility, but not beyond this, not beyond that. Do you think Bill Gates could have been poor? He takes all of his money, just throws it out the window. What happens? Comes back triple. He finds it. Maybe, okay. Maybe he had some little range there he could squeeze through, being rich. But probably very strongly, he had that destiny. Will you be happy or unhappy in love? Will you be wealthy or poor? Will you be ignorant or intelligent? Janmaishwarya Shutir Shubi. That's all destiny. So Arjuna is stuck in the same situation, right? You say in English, damned if you do and damned if you don't. If he fights the battle, he's going to have to kill his grandfather, going to have to kill his sifu, his guru, going to have to kill his cousins and his nephews, like who are just kids in front of him. So he begins to realize, by Krishna's, agitation, this is what this means. He wants to go home at the end of the day, put all these crowns of these people in front of Draupadi and see her tie her hair up and say, thank you, Arjuna. So my woman is happy with me. Because Draupadi, after the game of dice, they lost everything and Draupadi saved them. And they're walking away, and what does Draupadi do? When they're walking away from the game of dice with their clothes back, you're Indian. She undoes her hair like that. Who does that in Vedic culture? Who keeps their hair open? Only a widow, right? So Yudhishthira says, what are you doing? And she says, I'm a widow. If I had a real man for a husband, he would have protected me. And this is tough enough for an ordinary guy to hear this. But for a Kshatriya, this, she knows how to put the whatever right there. So, and she was not going to do it back up until Dushasana was dead. After what he did to me, the Duryodhana and the Kurus, they were thinking, okay, we did these difficult things, and in the end, the Pandavas, they'll forget it. They're guys. They'll let it go. But Draupadi, no, she's not going to forget. So she was the real cause for everything. One of our devotees, Bhakti Siddhanta Das, he's a very nice designer, artist. Had a studio, made a very nice studio in Vrindavan. So some time ago, with one bank in Delhi, they organized a competition on Krishna and Rama in modern art. And amazing how many people still have such deep realizations. So the second place prize was this very, big picture of Bhishma, his face, with all these like wrinkles and, old age. But as you came closer, every wrinkle was a different pastime. The cows being stolen by Virat, this and that. It was, so nice. Everything left its mark, and it was nice character. Okay, second prize. First place prize was this big picture of Draupadi. And it was like, she maybe like 15 years old or 16 years old, and she's in her night dress and her hair's open. And she's holding a candle in front of her, like looking like this, like maybe she hears Kunti knocking at the door, Draupadi, Draupadi. So she's coming not like frightened or something, but something is like a little like, disturbing or something. Okay, Draupadi was a covered flame, yeah, okay. But that first prize, oh my God. Yeah, because you look at it, then you finally realize her shadow is death personified. Really freaky, frightening death. So she didn't know, what she was born to accomplish. If she knew what her life was going to do, she probably would have committed suicide. Who can handle this kind of responsibility? Okay, so how do you know what your destiny may be? 7 years from now, you may be the president, the prime minister of India. It's impossible? No, it's just, yeah. So this is Hamlet's conclusion. Very big philosophical work, this is Western thought, that everybody has a destiny. Yeah, and there's flexibility, sometimes it's fixed, very tight, Other times you can make some choices, Rajagun, mode of passion. Sattvagun, okay, now we're giving you a choice, and you can create your future, you can create your karma now, And if you keep making the right choices in Sattvagun, then eventually you come to liberation. Now you're qualified to get out of the prison and take up real life. But now we're dealing with Krishna. Before, somebody's giving you a dolly to play with, okay? You take care of your dolly properly, and they give you your younger sister to watch after. Now it's a different thing. So when we get out of the material world, then we're dealing with material consciousness, and just even material consciousness, and we're dealing with Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita is talking about, in the beginning, about this, liberation from karma, these reactions. But that's just the beginning. Socrates talks about this, Confucius, Plato, all over the world. Everybody talks about actions, reactions, what is right, what is wrong, and then how to come to a conclusion where we're going to do things that won't entangle us in any more reactions. We'll be able to express ourselves freely, forever, right? And that's it's just like, for example, in Santiago. Is there a city prison in Santiago? Is there a prison in Santiago?
Yes.
Where is it?
There are 2 prisons.
Okay.
One is in San Joaquin and in Centro.
Okay. What percentage of Santiago do they occupy? 10%? 1%?
Much less. No,
Tiny, tiny.
Less.
So that's where we are now. We're in the Vaikuntha, the city prison, or Manikomia, nut house, because we're all acting crazy. I am God, I don't need mommy and daddy. I will act, okay, all right. So it's a part of the spiritual world. We're here, but it's just part for people who have a certain kind of strange attitude, right now. So then Krishna comes again and again. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya. And whenever there is a rise in irreligion, I advent myself again and again, to protect the pious people and to annihilate the miscreants and to reestablish Dharma. Because it always has to be done again and again in this world. And same thing is, sometimes there are cultural messages. Actually, Hamlet comes from a previous German drama. So you see some of these things, they're going back, You may even find that the thing was eventually coming from the Mahabharata. Sometimes you can trace these things way back to India. There's a Chinese classic, Journey to the West. This Sun Wukong, monkey. They say it's one of the 7 great, Chinese classics. It is. It's very interesting. It's a good, good adventure story. And you cannot have Chinese culture without Sun Wukong. If you try and take this out of the culture, it destroys like maybe 60% of the culture is based upon him. If you look every year, every 2 or 3 years at least, there's a new movie or something coming out based on this, adapted from it, something like that. It's like the Mahabharata, Sun Wukong. When Mao Zedong, conquered China, he was killing people, everything else. But he never got rid of monkey. I don't think he wanted to. He just put a little communist hat on him, gave him a rake, and made him into a good party member, communist, you know. Yeah, yeah. So very, very powerful part of the whole, you know, cultural identity. The basis of the story is Journey to the West, where the great Qiang Emperor is sending one monk, and these celestial monkey and piggy help him, whatever, to go from China to India. Because in China, all they have at that time is karma kanda knowledge. How to adjust your karma, you do this activity, help your ancestors, they help you. There's a Yamaraj, everything in the Chinese, cosmology. Okay, so they have this thing about how to take care of, sins and reactions and build good futures. This is karma kanda. But they don't have jnana kanda, which is how to get out of the cycle altogether. So they're sending this monk from China to India, right, journey to the West, to meet Tathagata Buddha and get this higher knowledge and so on. So the other side, there's Ahura Mazda in Iraq, from the Zoroastrian tradition. This is also being traced from India. So I know he's an emeritus professor of University of Ottawa, and big person. Did his thesis on this, that India has always been the center of spiritual knowledge, and going from there to the Middle East, to Greece, into the West, and then to China, to other places. So this is it. This is, the Bhagavad Gita. It's fundamental ideas. This first thing is how to deal with karma, all these reactions, how to get out of this world. And most people can't even get beyond that. But then after that, then Indian culture, the Vedic literatures, talk about whether the Bhagavad Gita is good for liberation. This is not the Bhagavad Gita. This is the Bhagavad Gita as it is. The actual Bhagavad Gita is probably about this thick. Yeah. And the rest, of course, is transliteration and so many purports. The purports here go all the way to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Prabhupada gives a very big perspective here on this, and from our tradition. So then, Bhagavad Gita itself, it's good for liberation. How to get out of this world, Sarva Dharman, Parityajya, this is the conclusion. Sarva Dharma, because he's discussing so many dharmas, study, varna ashram, yoga. So he says finally, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo, Mokshayisha Mima Suchaha. I promise you, surrender to me, I will take you out of all of this. Shankaracharya's commentary. He said that the Mahabharata, the Battle of Kurukshetra, was a great river, just roaring down like that, and with high banks. Once you get in, you're lost. And had many very powerful, dangerous crocodiles, And worst of all was this whirlpool, right? So that was the Battle of Kurukshetra. And so Arjuna had to cross over this. It was impossible. But Shankaracharya says, but you became the ferryman, right? Yeah, very emotional. You became the ferryman and took your devotees safely to the other side. The roaring river, that was Dronacharya. He was Arjuna's teacher, right? But besides being there, he has something like 400 million soldiers, not just in one pack, but coming in these incredible phalanxes and arrangements. So first he had to face Dronacharya and the entire Kauravya army, which was basically like 5 to 3. If you have 2 more friends and have to fight with 5 guys, it's not a good ratio. You're guaranteed to lose, practically speaking. So that was the first problem. And eventually they eliminated Dronacharya. How did they eliminate Dronacharya? How did Krishna eliminate Dronacharya? Dronacharya wouldn't give up until he heard that
His son is.
Ashvatthama was dead. His son was dead. And so, of course, he wasn't dead. So he said, Bhima said, oh, your son is dead. He said, I don't trust you. You're a liar. Only if Yudhishthira says it will I believe him. So Krishna told Yudhishthira, you have to say that Ashvatthama is dead. He said, I can't tell a lie. Okay. So then Bhima went and killed an elephant named Ashvatthama. And Krishna said, so can you say now, Ashvatthama is dead. Ashvatthama the elephant. I said, okay, I can say that. So he said, Ashvatthama is dead. And the second part, Krishna blew his conch shell, so he couldn't hear him. So Krishna is a very tricky guy. Yeah? So they eliminated, what's it called, Dronacharya, in an unfair fashion. Yeah? Then who else? What is the high banks, the high mountain? Who was that? You know? Bhishma. Right? Bhishma was insurmountable. Who could kill Bhishma? No one. Yeah. They came to him maybe like the third day of the battle. The Pandavas came in, simple dress to Bhishma, and Yudhishthira said, grandfather, this is nothing but killing. And I made a decision, unless we can eliminate you from the battle, I'm going to go to Duryodhana tomorrow and surrender. Like that and stuff. And so Bhishma Dev said, so you want me to die, Yudhishthira? And Yudhishthira says, no, but there's no other way. No other way. And so then Bhishma Dev says, you're right. He says, all right, there is one person in your army that can kill me. Who is it? What's her name? His name? Ashikuni.
No, Shikandi.
Shikandi, yeah. Because Shikandi in her previous life, his previous life was Amba. Yeah. So then he can kill. You put me in front of him and I can't fight. Like that. So Yudhishthira says, well, why is this? He said, I'm giving you my life. Allow me the secret of my death. Very emotional book. Bhagavad Gita is an extremely emotional book. Unless you worship the deity, you can't understand Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, very emotional. The logic behind it. Yeah, simple logical ideas are here, but behind them it goes into very deep things also. Yeah. Because Arjuna's not satisfied with logical explanations in the beginning that he's something that's not going to handle my problems. Yeah. Okay, so they got rid of Bhishma. Okay, Dronacharya. Who's the big crocodile? These crocodiles are as big as his room. In the ocean, they grow as long as this room, these crocodiles. You're taking your boat across the Pacific Ocean, row, row, row your boat merrily across the stream. Life's but a dream. Yeah. Who was the big crocodile? Karna, yeah, Radeya, right? Who was his father? Who was Radeya's father?
Surya.
Surya Bhagavan, yeah. So he was incredible personality. Incredible personality. He didn't know who his parents were. We start getting into the story here. Kunti's role in the whole thing was also very special. When he came into the competition, right? He had we have teeth growing. He had armor growing. And he had earrings growing out of his body, celestial. And when Kunti saw him, she knew who it was. This is the baby I put in the boat and left to the whims of the river. So she could have said right there, I have something to confess. Yeah. When I was a little girl, before I was married. But she didn't have the courage to do it. No smaller tests for girls. So she let it pass. And then after that, everything happened. Duryodhana befriended him. And then finally, Kunti sees all these things happening. So then, when Karna takes over the charge of the army, I think the next day or something, she comes across the battlefield. Every day, Karna would sit in the sun, which in India, is a pretty austere activity. He'd do his Gayatri, his Sandhya mantras, and then the first person he saw after that, whatever they asked, he would give it to them. That's why Radeya, the greatest giver, like that. Nobody ever surpassed him. He even belittled Indra. Even Indra became lost in reputation in terms he was so impressed. Wow, what do you want from me? So he was doing and in his dreams, he would tell some people knew this. In his dreams, he would see a lady leaning over his crib as a child, and she had a veil over her face, right? But he knew it was his mother. He knew it was his mother, but he never could quite see through the veil. Who is my mother? Yeah. So anyway, he's sitting there chanting his Gayatri, and Kunti's come across from the other side of the battlefield, and as he's chanting, he feels her shadow fall on him, and shivers go up and down his spine. Oh my God, what is this? Something's happening. So he finishes up, he looks up, and there's this lady in front of him with a veil over her face, just like his dreams, and he says, "Who are you?" And she raises the veil, and it is Kunti! Haribo! Yeah, what do you call it? Does it push the factory reset, right? Push the factory reset. Yeah, and she says, she explains what happened. I think he passes out. Then when he comes to consciousness, she's holding him like the baby she never was able to hold, and crying, and then calm down. He says, look, certain things happened, I'm sorry, but you come with me now, I'm your mother. You come with me, I'll take you across, I'll tell everything to the Pandavas, and they will offer incense to you, guru and lamps, and on the fourth day, Draupadi will become your wife, and they will all bow down, and the war will be over. Because without you, Duryodhana can't do this. All his killing will be finished. Okay. So what did Karna say? What did he do? He said, "You're asking me for a mother's right, to obey me, but you never claimed, to be my mother, And now, and the only person who was ever my friend in all this was Duryodhana. And now when he needs me the most, you're asking me to walk out on him." Right? I can't do it. But I give you this promise. You've always claimed to be the mother of 5 heroes, right? Mother of 5 heroes. That's pretty good, huh? Mother of 5 heroes, yeah. So tomorrow when the battle goes on, I won't kill the twins. I won't kill Bhima. I won't kill Yudhisthira. But tomorrow night, when the sun sets, either I or Arjuna will be dead. And Kunti passes out. So when she comes to consciousness, he's holding her and crying, and she goes across the battlefield. So how did they eliminate the crocodile? How did Krishna eliminate the crocodile? They just couldn't stop him. He was killing everybody, And he had a lance which was nobody could stop. He was saving it for Arjuna. And they couldn't Arjuna could have fought him, but they couldn't put him in the battlefield because he would use the lance. So how did Krishna eliminate the crocodile? Karna. Yeah. He's sitting there in the Peter Brook movie, which I love. You gotta understand it's for Westerners, not for Hindus. Krishna starts throwing this, stuff in the fire, and this big black guy appears. Really good, well done. And Krishna says, he's a Rakshasa. He's the son of Hidemba and Bhima, Rakshasa. They're a different race. They're not actually, they have to eat people. That's just their... Cats have to eat meat, Rakshasas have to eat people. But there are rules, who you can eat. Okay. So anyway, Krishna throws and he appears, a gigantic, that black guy, half dressed with his makeup, really impressive, And he says, "Why have you called me?" And Krishna says, "Your family is going to die. Only you can save them." Who is threatening them? Karna. Where is he? Okay. And he says the power of the son of a charioteer is almost immeasurable. But your power, when the sun goes down, your power will be even greater. Like that. Offer the son of the charioteer in the darkness of the night as a sacrifice to the gods. Okay, very heroic. So he goes off and they fight, and it's just unbelievable. He's destroying everything. All of the elephants are running away, urinating in terror. He's horrible as the night goes on, because now they're not following Dharma. They're starting to fight at night. And so then Gadachak's power becomes immeasurable. And they're all being destroyed. So funny, everybody is telling him, you've got to use your lance. But if I use that, then Arjuna will be safe. Dronacharya is telling him, don't use the lance. But in the end, he throws it, kills Gatachak, and now he's a dead man. That's it. It's finished. Okay, we eliminated the Dronacharya. We eliminated Bhishma. We eliminated Karna. Who's left? Who's the whirlpool destroying everybody? Sucking everybody to their death. Only one person really wanted this war.
Duryodhana.
Yeah. Who helped? What was Krishna's mission of incarnation? Why did he come that time? Many things. To show Vrindavan pastimes to the fortunate. But his general message was because Bhumi came with tears in her eyes, complaining because she was overburdened, right, with unnecessary military force. She couldn't maintain it. It was sucking her blood, with oil and all these manufacturing and all these things. She was dying, suffering. So she came to Krishna, to Brahma, for help, Vishnu. So he said, yada yada hi dharmasya, he incarnated. So that was his mission, to eliminate all these unnecessary military forces. At the height of the Cold War, when the United States and Russia were, at it like anything, one girl made up a display of models. Every single ICBM missile, Atlas ICBM, she made like this big, was to scale. Every Poseidon submarine, every Triton submarine, she had them like to scale. And it took spaced a little bit space. It took about this much space to have them all put together in one space where you could see them. How many nuclear weapons and stuff there were. And when you saw the visual representation like that, it was just like shocking how much military power they'd assembled. I think every Poseidon submarine at that time had sufficient firepower to destroy every single Russian city over a population of 400,000. One submarine. The rocket would go to Chile, then it would break into 6 sub things. One submarine could have destroyed. And so when you saw it, this is unnecessary. So that's what is happening now. It's happening now to Bhumi. When you fly into these big cities, they look like staph infections on your skin. It's bad fragrances coming out. They're doing it. We're growing into the earth. We're sucking out these fluids. It's creating an imbalance. It's creating an imbalance in the atmosphere. And so she's suffering. But this is Kali Yuga. So Treta Yuga, she deserves a better deal. So who helped Krishna the most in eliminating all these extra military forces? Balaram? Yeah? People say Balaram, Arjuna, Duryodhana. He got them all in one place at one time. But it wasn't pratikulyena, with a conscious intention to please Krishna. It was anukulyena. It was pratikulyena. It was with a conscious intention to hurt Krishna. He did it. But okay, Krishna doesn't care. He used everybody. So in the end, how did he eliminate? Yeah, so far Krishna hasn't eliminated anybody by fair means. So far he's gotten rid of everybody by devious, questionable tricks. So how did he eliminate Duryodhana? In the end, it came down to everything. They fought down. There was nobody left, and so the Yudhishthira made this totally insane offer. You pick any of us 5 and fight with him, and if you defeat, then we'll give a kingdom up and we'll walk away. Insane. This guy was. The rest of Pandava, this guy's nuts. But he's Dharma personified. There was never anybody ever more pious, more just than him. And even he wasn't able to see the perfection. He had to go beyond that to Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Okay, so Duryodhana picked Bhima. Bhima was stronger, but Duryodhana was more flexible. Who was his guru? Who was his martial arts guru? Balaram. Yeah. So in the end, he broke his thing. It hurt him. And then Krishna asked, "Are you hurt?" "Yes, badly." "Yes." "Okay, don't show it. Do this move." And he's going to respond by his other move, which is to jump up. And at that time, you'll be able to hit him in the thigh. I can't do it. It's against the rules. Do it for me. All right. Yudhishthira refused. Bhima, if you ask for it, I'll do it. So he did it. you know, and he broke his thighs, and Balaram was going to kill him, but Krishna actually saved him, like that, and so on. You know? So yeah, Krishna eliminated all these things, and he did this impossible thing. And because you are my devotee, Kuntiya pratejanahi name bhakti pranashati. Declare it boldly, O son of Kunti, my devotee is never vanquished. Like that. So he took him for this entire thing, and that's the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, that if we understand the message, and it's so long because it's looking at it from many different angles. It's looking at it from the perspective of yoga, the perspective of studying the Vedic scriptures, the perspective of Varna Ashram. That's why it's so great, because all these different aspects of the Vedas, Krishna talks about them all very nicely. So all the acharyas, they make commentaries. If you want to establish your philosophy of Vedic culture, you have to do on the basis of three things. Vedanta Sutra, the Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gita. If you can establish it on these three, it's very strong. Yeah? So Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Purana, takes up historically and philosophically where the Bhagavad Gita starts. In the beginning of the Bhagavatam is still talking about adhokshaja, you know, what all these things, you know, the supreme controller, Parameshwar. Krishna is there, but still it's very, you know, Upanishadic, it's general. God is great, he's all powerful, he knows everything. But as it progresses, it goes through different incarnations, and finally comes to Krishna. Avatara, Avatari. Shriman Narayan will reciprocate Dasya Ras. Mahavishnu has only Shanta Ras. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. But that's Mahavishnu. He's so great, he's so great, he's just really great. He's just greater than great and really great. Forever, 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 forever and... Don't you get tired of this? No, that's the basic level of bhakti. Yeah, you're out of the material world when you come to Karanadakshay Vishnu. Shiradakshay Vishnu, Garbhadakshay Vishnu, Paramatma, there's still no rasa. Yeah? So finally you realize, okay, it's Shantaras. In Vaikuntha there's Dasya Ras. Everybody is serving Shriman Narayan. Nobody there is over 16 years old, in case you didn't know that in Vaikuntha. When I was in high school, like the last 2 weeks before the last session was over, there was always Seniors Day. They would take all the graduating students in two buses and go to some like amusement park or something. Teachers would come along. But now the whole relationship was finally different. Now we're finishing off being your teachers. Now we're going to be, we can act like friends and stuff. And so it was a very interesting day. So maybe we'd go to Disneyland, and it was just, the teachers were in the background, everybody else was just there. So that's what Vaikuntha is like. It's like a Disneyland that's about 15% finished, right? And everybody there is kids. Lakshmi is, is Shriman Narayan's, girlfriend, and loves everybody and makes sure everybody has, proper food and everything else, and loves everybody like her kids, So it's a wonderful place, like that, But then above that are Leela avatars like Nrsimha, Raha, and Ram. Hanuman is in Dasya Ras, servitude, but some Sakya Ras. Hanuman did this wonderful deed. He came back with the news from Sita. And what did Ram do? He thanked him, and he had no gift. I'm in the forest, I haven't got anything. The only thing I can call my own and offer you is my embrace. We have always been known as 4 brothers. From this day forward, we should be known as 5 brothers. And he embraced Hanuman. So there's Dasya Ras with some Sakya Ras in Ayodhya. We go to Dwarka, Mathura, Dwarka. So finally, in Yam Praptam Nima, how's it go? Tamahu, how it goes now, This is my supreme abode. He's talking, this is Goloka. We can talk about it. The Muslims have their supreme idea, the Christians, whatever, and the different Shiva Sampradaya. But okay, looking at it, intellectually, there's a lot of evidence that the Goloka is the supreme abode of the supreme divinity. because there he reciprocates Sakya Ras friendship, but now it's becoming higher to the point where I no longer belong to Krishna, but now Krishna belongs to me. What's that called? Mamata? Mamakam. Yeah. The higher friends of Krishna, they take Krishna as their younger friend, and Balaram, Krishna's younger brother. He's got to protect Krishna from dangerous things like bulls and gopis, right? You're going to watch out. Okay? Come on, Krishna, we'll talk to Radha tomorrow. It's sincere. It's like some older brother. Oh, Balaram, can't Krishna stay a little longer? No, Radha, we'll be back tomorrow. It's okay. Even in Goloka, there's Guru, Balaram. And it's interesting how it's working, Yeah. Okay, so Sakya Ras, and then what's next? More intense than the love of the cowherd boys for Krishna was pretty intense. This example of that is Goloka.
Mother Yasoda.
A little bit less than her.
Last time.
Rohini. Yeah, Balaram's mother, she also loves Krishna like anything. Yeah. But hers is a little different, And finally Yashoda, and it's an investigation. The Pushti Marg, Balaba Sampradaya in Gujarat. In Gujarat's Balaba Sampradaya, Pushti Marg. They also worship Krishna. But their idea is the greatest devotee of Krishna is Mother Yashoda. Who loves you more, your wife or your mommy? My mother's gone. But even still, that's the question we have with the Pushti Marg. Who loves Krishna more, Yashoda or Radha? It's a very, it's kind of either way, it's okay. But our point is that then finally the queens in Dwarka have this conjugal love, but they're married and stuff. It's okay. Well, the gopis and stuff is parikiya bhava, which is more risk. You have to risk your reputation, everything else to love Krishna. Chandidas, Vidyapati, Lord Chaitanya, our Acharya, he Srimad Bhagavatam, but also he especially appreciated the poetry of Chandidas and Vidyapati, and also Jayadev, who appeared before him. So one nice poem by Vidyapati, he says, Vrindavan is a very strange place. He said it's becoming evening, and it's becoming a little dark, and people are washing the final pots and putting them away, and the little kids are already falling asleep, and it's coming, and but then there's the sound of a flute, way somewhere in the distance, and so some of the young girls start to kind of merge into the shadows, and then climb out the windows or something like that, escaping, But it's not a very safe night for a young girl, 12-year-old girls, 11 and 15-year-old girls, to be out, because now the wild animals are starting to come out in the forest. Suddenly you're surrounded by a pack of wild dogs. Yes. And also it's threatening to rain. The clouds overhead are rumbling, little drops of rain. But one gopi in particular is so anxious to meet with her beloved that she's going through this dangerous atmosphere. She has a very nice, beautiful new sari, but it's catching on the brambles. She's going, And Vidyapati says, Vrindavan is a very strange place. Only in Vrindavan does the honey run after the bee. Yes. Very nice analogy. But that's what we're dealing with. We begin to appreciate. But even now, looking back again, other traditions, the Christian tradition, they talk about Madhurya Ras. It's a very confidential thing. If you want to look it up, it's San Bernardino de Clairvaux, Saint Bernard of Clare Valley. He was a big Christian saint. One of his students became Pope. Like that. So in the Bible, there are the Song of Solomon, Cantar de Cantares, the Song of Songs. And it starts off, the first sentence says, "Kiss me with the kiss of your lips." Okay, it's very, people debating what's the content, very erotic sentiments. So Saint Bernard, maybe 500 years ago or something, there's a series of lectures, sermons he gave, and he's talking to the monks who've all been there doing austerities and for many years. And he says, I'm going to talk about these things now because I think you're purified of the lust of the body and the lust of the mind for honor, these kind of things, by studying Ecclesiastes and Proverbs. So now we're free from these things, we can start to talk about these subtle things. So they're also talking about these feelings in the liberated state. It's very nice. He says, yes, you can come to the point where there can be the kiss of the lips, like that. If we can start translating here. Yeah. We got some Spanish-speaking people here. Okay. He says,
Él dice
that we finally come to the point
que finalmente llegamos al punto
where we can start to talk about these subtle feelings and relationships.
en que podemos comenzar a hablar de estas relaciones